Hello students, welcome back to your math classes. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well and healthy. So students, I'm your mathematics educator again here with a new chapter with a new concept, and today we have chapter number 7, which is decimal fraction. So now we are going to learn about the decimal fractions. So first of all, if you don't understand your previous chapter, so first you if you didn't understand your previous chapter, so first you have to go there and you have a look on it, because the same concept we are going to repeat here. Okay, so now decimal point system, we use the 10 digit system to write numbers in figures. Let us consider the numbers 234. So 234 means ones, tens and hundred. This is our place value. In this number, 4 is in ones place, its place value is 4. 3 is in tens place, its place value is 30, and 2 is in 100 place, its place value is 200. So we already know that, right? Because this is very basic concept which we do in our earlier classes. Now, thus if we move leftwards by one step, say from ones place to tens place, or from tens place to 100 place, the place value increases 10 times. So the place value is increases 10 times. Also, if we move rightwards by one step, say from 100 place to 10th place, from 10th place to 1's place, the place value decreases to 10th part. It means when we move forward to leftwards, so 1's to 10's and 10's to 100. So in this case, we are increasing the value. Okay, but when we move from rightwards, so what we notice, we decrease the value from 1/10th part. Okay, so hence the value of any place is 1/10th of the place to its immediate left. So in this case, we can say 100 is 1 upon 10 of 1000. So that is your 1/10 multiplied by 1000, you will get 100. Similarly, 10 is equal to 1/10 of 100, so it's equal to 1 only. So now continuing the same pattern, if we create a place to the right of the ones place, so we can say that 1/10 multiplied by 1000, 100. 1/10 multiplied by 100 is 10. 1/10 multiplied by 10 is 1. And 1 multiplied by 1/10 is 1/10. So from the above table, it is clear that the values assigned to the places, it's to 1/10th part. Now 10th. If we divide one complete whole into 10 equal parts, so each part is called 1/10 or written as 1/10. The fraction is 1/10. So we already know that if we divide a whole object into 10 equal parts and we are using only one part of it, so the fraction of it will be 1/10. In decimal form is written as 0.1. So how can we write it? 0.1. Always keep in your mind, first you write 1. How many zeros are there? Only 1. So first you have to count 1 and put a 0 here. So 0.1 is your answer. Now consider the following points regarding the writing of numbers in decimal system. 2/10 is equal to 2 multiplied by 1/10. So first you have to multiply 2 and divided it 10. So you will get your fraction 0.2, because 1 multiplied by 1/10 is 0.1, and 0.1 plus if you add it, so you will get 0.2. Therefore, if we write the digits 3, 4, 5 to 9 in 10th place, then their place value will be 3/10, 4/10, 5/10 and 9/10 respectively. Okay, now 7/10 means 1/7/10, one whole, and 17/10 is written in the decimal form as 1 in the ones place and 7 in the 10th place. In decimal form, it is written as, because we have 17/10. So how many zeros? Only 1. So first write 17. Start your counting from left hand side. 1, because we have only 1. So after 1, just put a 0. This is a way how we write our whole numbers into decimal. Now similarly, 372/10 means 37 2/10. This is written by placing 3 in the tens place, 7 in the ones place and 2 in the 10th place. In decimal form again, how many zeros are? Only 1. So first we write 3, 7, 2. Start your counting from left hand side. 1. After 1, you just have to put a point. How many zeros you have, that will define how you have to mark your point on your numbers. Okay. So a fraction which has 10 or any multiple of 10 in the denominator is called a decimal. So this is the definition. So you can also say that decimal is a part of fraction. Okay, now decimal fraction. So 3 upon 10. So writing in decimal form, 3 by 10. So 3 is 10th place, 3 by 10 multiply by, is 3 by 10 is equal to 3 multiply by 1 by 10, and you will write it as in fraction form 0.3 decimal point. Now we are going to learn about the decimal point. To write decimal fraction, we use the symbol. This point is used to representing the decimal. Call the decimal point between the units of 10th place. It shows where the whole number part of the number ends and the fraction part begins. For example, you have 14.2. Always keep in your mind that after point you have to take your numbers by digits. For example, we have, so in this case, you cannot say 92. You have to say 37.92. You have to separately take the name. Okay, so in this section, if you have 14.2, so this point, after point, you have your decimal part, and before point, before decimal point, you have your whole number part. And this point, it's called decimal point. Okay, I hope so, student, this is clear to you. Now, the decimal point is always placed after the ones place. After the decimal point, the place value are 10th, 100, 1000. All these places have a value less than 1. So let us see how we combine the whole part and decimal part. Consider we have 4 whole part and 5 by 10 decimal fraction. So this is your 4 and this is your 5. 5 by 10 is 0.5. So you have to add. So if you had 4 and 0.5. So 5.4 is your answer. Sorry, 4.5 is your answer. 5 is your decimal part, decimal point, and 4 is your whole part. Now we have our exercise 7.1. Match the column. So we have matched the column. 0.4 is 4 upon 10. 3.8 is this. So in same way you can match the rest two you have. Now write the following fractions using the decimal point. So we have to write the following fraction using the decimal point. So 14, how many zeros are there? Only one. So we put 1.4. 582, how many zeros we have? Only one. So start your counting from left hand side and put a point here. So 58.2 is your answer. Now 39. So how many zeros you have? Only one. So 1. In same way you can do rest of the questions you have in question number 2. Now we move forward to a new concept, which is writing fractions with denominators 100, 1000 in decimal system. So how can we write? To write fraction with denominator 10 in the decimal system, we use the 10th place. Okay. Similarly, to write fractions with denominators 100 and 1000, we create two places for 1 upon 100 and 1 upon 1000. The value of the place immediately to the right of the ones place is 1 by 10. The value of the place to the right of the 10th place is 1 by 10 multiplied by 1 by 10, that is 1 upon 100. So 100. Hence this place is called the 100th place. Same for the 1000 place. 1 upon 100 multiplied by 1 upon 10. So 1000, and this place is called the 1000th place. If we divide 100 to it 100 into 10 equal parts, each part that's obtained, it's called 1000, and it is written as 1 upon 1000. In decimal form it is written as, so again you have to write 1. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3. So start your counting. 1, we have only 1, so we have to make digits 1, 2, 3. After 3 we have to put a point and write 0. So this is the way you can write your fractions into decimal. Okay, now 93 upon 100. So 93 upon 100 means 93. How many zeros are there? 2. So you have to start your counting. 90.93, 0.93. Now 6157 will be written as 6.157 because you have 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. Put a point here like this. 6.157. Okay. Now you have your exercise 7.2. Write the following fraction in the decimal form. So we have 13. How many zeros are there? 2. Start your counting from left hand side. 1, 2. Put a point, and this is your decimal, and this is your decimal representation. Now we have 378. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3. We have to start counting 1, 2, 3 and put a point here. Next 5 upon 100. So 5, how many zeros? 2. So 1, 2.0. So in same way you can write rest of the fractions into your decimal form. Now reading a decimal number. A fraction written in the decimal form is read in the same way as a fraction written in the numerator denominator form. For example, 17 upon 100 is written as 0.17 in the decimal form. It is read as 17 upon 100 or 1700. In 3.507, there are digits up to the thousand place. So in these types of cases, the number to the left of decimal is read as usual, but the digits to the right of decimal point, fractional point are read as single digit. You have to read it as single digit, which I already explained you. Now in this case is read as 0.0 after you have a point, so point, and this 17 will be read as 17 because after point, decimal point, we have to read our digits, numbers in a single digit. Now this 3.507 will be read as 3.507. Okay, so this is the way we can read our decimal numbers. Write the following numbers in words. So this will be your 5.257. Next we have 63.02. Okay students, so you have to write rest of the parts you have in question number 1 in words. Now we move forward to question number 2. Write the following numbers using decimal point. So we have 68. So we write 68. After this we have point. So we have to put a point. And 7, 6. So first write 7, then 6. In this 9 point. So we write 9. Put a point. 501. 501. 84.07. So you can write rest of the 3 parts you have in question number 2. So do it yourself in the same way as I do. Now place value of a digit in digital. So place value of digits in decimal number. Let us find place value of each digit in the number 54.728. So 50. The place value of 5 will be 5 multiplied by 10 because 10's place. 4 will be 1, so 4 multiplied by 1, 4. 7, so 7 multiplied by 1 upon 10. After point, we have ones. Then we have, after point, we have 10, 100 and 1000. So 7 multiplied by 1 upon 10, 0.7. 2 multiplied by 1 upon 100, 0.02. 100 multiplied by 1000, 0.008. So what we have to keep in mind, before the decimal point, we have a number normal place value chart, but after point, we have 1/10, 100 and 1000. There is no ones. Okay. Now write the place value for each digit in this. So this is your ones, tens and 100. Ones, tens and 100. In this you have 3 is your 3 by 10th. 9 is your 9 by 100. 6 is your 6 by 1000. So 0.006, 0.09 and 0.3. Now we move forward to our next exercise, which is exercise 7.4. Write the place value of each digit in the following numbers. So we have to write the place value. So we have 0.358. This is your 10, this is your 100 and this is your 1000. 3 multiplied by 1 upon 10, which means 0.3. 5 multiplied by 1 upon 100, which means 0.05. 8 multiplied by 1000, which means 0.008. Okay. So you can solve the rest of the questions you have in the same way as I do. Now move forward to next question. Write the place value of each underlined digit. So in this case, 34.26. This is your nth and this is your 100. So what is the place value of it? 6 multiplied by 1 upon 100 and your answer will be 0.06. In next question, we have 8.888. So 8 multiplied by, because this is 10, 100 and 1000. So 8 multiplied by 1000, your answer will be 0.008. So students, you have to do the same process you have to repeat here, and you can get your answer for rest of the questions you have in this. So you have to repeat the same process, students, as I do for the rest of the parts you have in question number 2, and you will get your answer. Now we move forward to new concept, which is converting a fraction written in decimal form into its numerator or denominator form. So 46 upon 100, we have learned how to write a fraction given in the numerator denominator form in the decimal form. For example, 46 upon 100 will be 0.46, 3 upon 1000 will be 0.003, 68 upon 1000 means 0.068 and 3 upon 10 means 0.3. Now let us convert a fraction written in the decimal form into its numerator denominator form. For example, 0.6. So you have to read how many numbers you have after point. Only one, it means your denominator will be 10 and 6 is your numerator. 0.2, so 2 is your numerator and after point you have only one number, so 10 is your denominator. 0.9, so 9 by 10 is your number. After digit we have two numbers, so 100 will be your denominator and 53 is your numerator. 0.03, so after point we have two numbers, so 100 will be your denominator and 3 will be your numerator. Now for 3-digit numbers, so here we have 3-digit number, so your denominator will be 1000 and 623 is your numerator. So in this way we can convert our decimal numbers into fraction form. Decimal fractions having 1, 2 or 3 digits to the right of the decimal point are called 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place and 3 decimal place fractions respectively. For example, 6.023 is the 3 decimal place fraction. Let us see how to write a decimal fraction in the numerator and denominator form. Write the following in the numerator and denominator form. So you have to see how many numbers, how many digits we have after point. Only one. It means our denominator is 10 and 4 will be your numerator. And you can further get its simplest form. 2 2s are 4 and 2 5s are 10. So 2 by 5 is the reduced form of it. Now in this we have two digits after the point. So 73 upon 100. Your answer will be 73 upon 100 and it cannot be converted further. Now 0.275. So in this case after point we have three numbers. So your denominator will be 1000 and 275 will be your numerator. So you have to keep in your mind how many digits you have after your decimal point. You just have to make a multiple of 10 as your denominator. Now we have exercise 7.5. Write the following fractions in the numerator denominator form. So we have 0.8. How many numbers we have after point? Only one. So 8 is our numerator and 10 is our denominator. 0.75. After point we have two numbers. So after point we have two numbers. It means we have 100 as our denominator and fraction will be 75 upon 100. And you can also do this. For example, 0.432. Count how many digits we have. 1, 2, 3. Just remove this point and put a 1 and write 3 zeros after this. 0.5. Remove a point, write 1 and put a 0. How many digits you have? In this case, we have only 1. So we write 10. So this is the way you can do rest of the questions you have in exercise 7.5. Now equivalent decimal fractions. We have learned that fractions of equal value are called equivalent fraction. If both the numerator and denominator of a fraction are multiplied or divided by the same number, we get their equivalent form. So 6 upon 10, the further if we multiply a random, it is totally up to you. You can take any random number. Just you have to do that. You have to multiply that particular number with your numerator as well as your numerator. So 6 upon 100 is your answer. Then if you multiply 6 upon 10 with 100, so 1600 upon 1000 is your answer. So in same way you can do for the decimal as well. So write equivalent fractions or to given fraction 0.19. So 0.19 first we converted into fraction form. 19 upon 100. Now it's totally up to you. You can take any random number. Here we take 10. So 19 upon 100 multiply by 10 and multiply by 10. So your answer will be 190 upon 1000. Further, you convert this fraction into decimal. So you will get 0.190. Now we move forward to our exercise 7.6. Write 2 decimal place and 3 decimal place fractions equivalent to the given fraction. So 0.7, first we have to convert it into a fraction, 7 upon 10. Now it's totally up to you. You can take any random number. So here we take 2 and 2. 7 2s are 14, 10 2s are 20. So this is your fraction, or you can do one thing also, 0.7, 7 upon 10 multiply with 100, and so we have 0.7, and first we convert it into fraction form. First we have to convert it into 2 decimal place, so we have to multiply it with 100. So 700 upon 1000. You will get your fraction 123. 123, put a point here. So 0.700 is your fraction form for 3 place value. Next we have to convert it into second. So we have to multiply it with 10. You will get 70 upon 100. So fraction will be 712, 0.70. Okay students, so the same way we can do rest of the questions we have. For 2 decimal places, we have to multiply a given decimal with 10, numerator and denominator both of them. And for the 3 decimal place value, we have to multiply it with 100 and we will get our answer. Write 1 decimal place and 2 decimal place fractions equivalent to the given fraction. So we have to write 1 decimal place and 2 decimal place fractions equivalent to the, so 1 decimal place will be your 0.3, and you can write it as 3 by 10, and 2 decimal place value will be 0.30, 3 upon 100. For 4.7, you can write 47 upon 10, and for 2 place value you can write 470 upon 100. So in same way you can do rest of the parts you have in your question number 2. Now we move forward to our next concept, which is like and unlike decimal. So similarly, as we have like and unlike fractions, we have like and unlike decimals as well. We know that the fractions that have the same common denominators are called like fractions, and the fractions that have different denominators are called unlike fractions. Fractions 7 by 10, 17 by 10, 123 upon 10, 567 upon 10 are all like fractions, and 6 by 100, 3 by 50, 39 upon 5, 127 upon 3 are all unlike fractions. So consider 6 by 100 and 3 by 50 both are equivalent fractions, yet they are unlike fractions because they have different denominators. In this case, we have different denominators, and different denominators means unlike fractions. Consider the following groups. As we have like and unlike fractions, we also have like and unlike decimal. Consider the following groups of decimal. So what you see here, after point we have 1 digit, 1 digit, 1 digit, 1 digit. It means this is your like decimals. 2 digits, 2 digits, 2 digit, again like fraction. 3 digits, 3 digit, 3 digit, again like fraction. So what we observe here, in group A there is only 1 digit after the decimal point. In group B, 2 digit after the decimal point. In group C, 3 digit after the decimal point. The places of the digits in the decimal part of a number are called decimal places. The decimal which have the same number of decimal places are known as like decimals, and the decimals having different decimal places are known as unlike decimal places. So students, I hope so. Now you can easily differentiate between like decimals and unlike decimals. For this, these are the examples of like decimals and these are the examples of unlike decimals. Now conversion of unlike decimals into like decimals. This is very easy. Let us consider two unlike decimals, 0.23 and 0.023. Here 0.23 has 2 digits in the decimal places and 0.023 has 3 digits in the decimal places. So here we have 3 and here we have only 2. So for this, to make both decimals like, they must have the same number of digits, 3 in their decimal places. So what we can do, here we have our steps. Find out the decimal having the largest number of the decimal places. So the largest we have 3, right? Change the other decimal into their equivalent decimal which have the same number of the decimal places as the decimal with the largest number of decimal places 3. So what we can do, we just have to add a 0, and 0.230 and 0.23 are like decimal. To convert a unlike fraction to a like fraction, we just have to add a 0 because we just need to make digits same after the decimal point. So find out the pair of decimal which are like and unlike fraction. A and B. In A we have this and this as like fraction, and these is also 2.33, 6.88 and 9.66 are like decimals, and 7.7 is unlike. Okay, convert unlike decimal into like decimals. So first we have to see how many larger digits we have. So in this we have larger digits 2, and in this we have 1. So for this we just have to add a 0, so it will be converted into your like fraction. Now we have our exercise 7.7. Find out the pair of decimal which are like. So these are unlike, these are also unlike. Here we have 3 and 3. So this is an example of like fraction. Find out the pair of decimal which are unlike. 2, 2. This is unlike. 2, 2. Unlike. So you can find out for rest of the following you have. Changes the following pairs of unlike decimal into corresponding pairs of like. So here we have 2 and here we have only 1. So we add a 0 to convert it into like fraction. Here we add a 0 to convert it into like fraction 1. So we have to add a 0. So in same way you can convert unlike fractions into the like fraction. Now expanded form of decimal, we can expand decimal in the place value form, decimal form and fractional form. For example, 6.87 can be expanded as 6 ones plus 8 tenths and 7 hundredths. So 6 plus 0.8 plus 0.07, and further you can write it in fraction form as well. 6 plus 8 by 10 plus 7 by 100. So now we are move forward to the comparison of decimals. So which of the two decimal is greater, 0.9 or 0.7? So first you have to see the number after your point. So 9 is bigger than as compared to 7. It means 0.9 is greater. Which is greater? So now you have two digits. So you have to compare with these two digits. So 17 is bigger. It means 23 upon 17 is bigger than as compared to 19 upon 12. Now ascending and descending order of decimal. So that is very easy because you already know how you have to compare it, and you already know about the ascending and descending order. So here we have 3 digit, 2 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, 2 digit. So first we convert them into like fraction. How can we convert them like fraction? By adding a 0 where we have less number of digits. So it will convert it into like fraction. Now we have to see the numbers after point we have. So all of these decimals have whole number part. Therefore we first compare the whole numbers. So here we have 23, 1, 3, 667 and 71. So this is our form. So therefore this is the ascending order of the comparison of these numbers. Arrange the following decimal in ascending order. So first you have to manage their whole numbers, but in this case what we find, same whole number, 107, 107, 107, 107. Then you have to compare their decimal point. So therefore 107.54 is bigger than 107.50. So according to this you can compare and write them in your ascending order. Now arrange the following in descending order. So comparing the whole number 53, 153, 9, 723 and 3, and according to that you can compare your decimal numbers as well. Now we move forward to our next exercise, which is 7.a. Which of the decimal in the following pairs is greater? So 5.7 or 0.99. So first we have to, you can take your whole parts. So 5 and 0, which one is bigger? 5. So it means 5.7 is bigger than as compared to 0.99. Next we have 1 point, 1 point, whole numbers are same. So we shift to the next number 0 and 1. It means this one is greater. Now 0.3 and 0.2, it means 0.3 is greater. So in same way you can do rest of the parts as I do. Now question number 2, which of the decimal in the following pairs is smaller? So 1.37 and 0.38, obviously 0.38 is smaller, 5.001 and 5.100. So 5.001 is smaller. Now arrange the following decimal in descending order and ascending order. So we already done this question in our example. You can take an idea from that and solve this. Now insert the correct symbol. So we already do this as well, but let's take some examples of it. So 2.7 and 2.7 same, 0 and 5, so it means this is greater and this is greater. 12 point, this one is greater. So you can simply write the symbols greater and lesser by comparing it. Now you have your worksheet where you have combination of question which we already do in our exercises. After completing this exercise, you can easily evaluate yourself as well as your chapter ends here. So students, now we're going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye. Have a good day.